Wisconsin. Happy Wednesday evening. Happy hump day. Hopefully, today was just smooth sailing, other than the weather outside. If you had to do something with the kids and not able to let them go to school, hopefully, all that worked out for you guys. And you're getting to relax this evening with whatever you need as far as cannabis goes. Thank you for stopping out tonight. Looking forward to tonight's show with tonight's guest. Get into that here in just a minute. I want to give a huge shout out, as always, to our partners at Higher Love. We got a link to them in the comments. Make sure you use the promo code when you check them out up there in the UP. Fire product, River Bluff as well. Ignite Dispensary. We got it all going on tonight. Let's kick it. I'm looking forward to it. It's Wednesday. Hopefully, you got your vote in yesterday. Getting ready for the elections this fall. The big thing's coming. We got to get this thing rolling. So let's get Jay's our first comment tonight. What's up, Jay? Thanks for swinging by. Let's get right to it, man. I'm really excited for tonight's guest. Had a chance to meet him a couple weeks ago, doing a collab with our buddies over at Ignite Dispensary and Cigar down in Milwaukee. And I'm gonna get him in here. I'm gonna let him talk a little bit about where we're going with this. It's awesome. Here he is, Brandon. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on, Wisconsin? What's going on, Bob?
Hey. Good to see you. We had a little. We worked ourselves through some troubleshooting with the speakers and everything. Man, we're on a roll. We're ready.
But it's better to be prepared.
Exactly. Yeah.
Get prepared. So
yep. We were here early. Yep. We're ready. So, Brandon, if you can just give us a little background about about yourself, a little background about you, and what it is that you do in the cannabis world.
Yeah. Again, my name is Brandon. I am a creative director and head coordinator for Breakfast with Champions. And my journey started actually in fashion about 15 years ago in high school. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, graduated from Mesmer High School. What's going on, Corey? And my journey started with just selling my t-shirts during lunchtime, and my mom, she was a single mom, so I had to figure out a way early on to kind of hustle and generate some money for like the shoes and sneakers I wanted and stuff, right?
Sure.
So got into fashion super early, and then that when I graduated and left Milwaukee to venture out to college, I did fashion shows there and went on to work for companies like Ralph Lauren, Gap, Banana Republic, on to like menswear at Brooks Brothers. So after college, I moved back here to Milwaukee and I helped run the Brooks Brothers store at Bayshore Mall. And so did that for a while still running my own fashion label and really put in both of my feet into the creative community here early on. So I would say the past 10 years or so, just being back in Milwaukee, I was able to just, have one foot in the corporate and retail world and also just doing what I need to do in the creative community and underground community to get my passions and art and designs, out. So, and it was a challenge, especially me coming from where I was born here in Milwaukee, but venturing out, to places like DC and New York and Ohio, those experiences and the people that I met there help, curate this vision or help elevate my experiences coming up. So I was able to bring that back here, and here we are today.
That's awesome, man. Hey, Randy, thanks for stopping by. So did it? I think it's neat that this is something that's been going on since, was it high school? You said middle school, high school.
Yeah, it started
As
in
far as
high
like your
school.
passion, and
Yeah.
was it at that time? Did you ever see it kind of being like an advocacy route for cannabis? Did that?
When I
Or,
was younger, I didn't. I was at the time I was actually started using cannabis or marijuana when I was in the eighth grade,
okay,
and just on and off and through high school. Of course, my later years I used it more, but I didn't take it as serious as I do now as an adult, or even appreciate the quality of the product now. So yeah. That's
Like,
it started when I was younger, and it always helped me with my anxiety. I didn't know it at the time,
right.
when I
Sure.
was younger, but I had a lot of anxiety, but I still like pushed forward and was able like to do plays and fashion shows, and it's because I was high, and so
Sure.
I was
Sure. It's
comfortable. So I was comfortable with myself and what
right.
I was doing because I was just on a certain chill early. But now that I've grown older and even with the pandemic, coming in the workforce and how the world has changed, my anxieties have changed, with
I
my
felt that,
parents.
man. I felt that.
Right.
Like
So,
it's yeah, it's or even like looking at the price of stuff now. It's there's anxiety, dude.
man, I
Like it's
remember
just
being able to get some good, seedless stuff for like,
sure,
$10, $20.
sure.
Um, but but I get it now. Now it's really about sativa and indica and how it makes you feel. And that's the reason why, I'm trying to do and advocate for the plant now and why I'm partnering with Ignite Dispensary. Just simply because their transparency and quality and product and education,
Sure.
with everything that they sell is why I wanted to partner with them and really take what I use every day and how they helped me on a personal level to collaborate with my business and the creatives and Milwaukee community.
That's awesome, man. And let's talk a little bit about what we got going on over here. I got a screen, add to stage. Boom. Here we go. Make that a little bigger.
Oh, that's the web.
Breakfast with
Yeah, that's the Breakfast
Champions.
with Champs website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when did Breakfast with Champions? Can you give us a little rundown on that?
Yeah, yeah. So Breakfast with Champions, the idea was when I was younger as well. When as we talked like middle school and high school, I was really big on music videos and music, right? Because
Sure.
it had all different types of art forms. It had the fashion, like the Puff Daddy and Rockefeller, Jay Z, and DMX, and hip hop. Pharrell, NERD, and the rock stars, Gwen Stefani, Red Hot Chili Peppers. All of these
Yeah, yeah.
different bands at the time. They had videos and the video directors. They had the concepts behind them. I was super drawn into that, and I appreciated music from the artist level to them making music videos to them being in the studio and coming out with an album and the rollouts of the
Sure.
album. Right? You remember like you'll watch TV and you'll see just a commercial of the hit single of and that made you
Right.
like out now, get
Coming
it
up.
at Sam Goody. Like
Right. Where you
those are
get
the things that I remember growing up, and I got my style from watching videos and hip hop, right? So
sure.
fast forward, now that I'm old enough to really take those passions, what I've learned, because again, fashion is a part of that as well, and um, all of my friends here in Milwaukee are probably like the best musicians in the state. I would say in the country. I can put them in the industry as far as the artists I've worked with. But now that I'm older, I'm able to fortunate enough to dig into my network and know some of the best DJs, right? Like DJ Gilly, who's the official DJ for the Bucks, like that's my homegirl,
Oh,
that
that's
I've known
awesome.
for years. Spaces like La Gente Art Gallery that you see is owned by two Hispanic sisters, and we're really good friends. They just happen to own a venue space, and I know a project manager. My girlfriend is a set designer, so she transforms all of these different spaces every breakfast with champs that we have to make it look
That's
different. Like those backdrops. That's a fine artist live, DJ Madi. So again, what I wanted to do in my adult years is kind of do what TRL and I don't know if anyone on here knows what Rap City in the Basement, like Tigger in the Basement, or 106 in Park, maybe, or what else? MTV2, like those
oh,
ongoing spotlights on new artists, right? I wanted to take that concept, but make it a little bit more intimate for specific artists. So, like my first one I had was an R&B artist. Her name is Ty Wilder. She's from here and we're really good friends. I've seen her perform. I've known her for about 3, 4 years now, and so I wanted to. And she's with her, she is like an opera singer. Like her voice is classically trained, right? So she's
oh, sure.
a little bit younger than me, but she can blow.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to shoot a video for her, and um, shoot like a QA session with, just sit down in front of the stoop, eating a bowl of ice cream or something. Yeah, Rap City, you remember. So just how they showcase new artists and interview them. Uh, it brings that connectivity to not only Milwaukee and that artist, but their fans and that artist, right? So with Breakfast with Champs again is exactly that, breakfast with champions. So leading up with the rollout of their uh, content and videos and interviews, we throw a social gathering for them.
That's
So
awesome.
like that art gallery, we will rent out the gallery, and we'll throw a concert and they'll perform in front of, with the DJ or a live band in front of like an intimate pool of people within, again, all of our networks. So
Sure.
it's all inclusive. It's not like one type of race or walk of people. Everyone is welcome. We got, again, Hispanic people, business professionals, business creatives like myself, set designers, singers, poets, graphic designers. Some of my friends have released like their comic books at my events as
Oh, that's
well,
cool, man.
that I went to high school with. So again, it's really shedding a spotlight on the elite creatives that's homegrown where I'm from here in Milwaukee. I
That's
could go
awesome.
on and on, but it's
No, for
really
sure,
I'm
dude.
super
I
passionate
love
about
it.
this.
And while we're sharing media for you, I think we should probably get the Instagram on there. I know you guys get a lot of good content on there, so I'm gonna drop the Instagram in the comments here for you guys.
Oh
And
yeah,
then
yeah. It's
I
it's
believe,
crazy. It's crazy. Like on our Instagram, we're coming up on our 1 year in April, and where I think we have about 700 or so followers,
let's
but
go.
like our reels are getting like tens of thousands, like
Sure.
7,000, and people are really engaging with because the content is quality. I
No,
think
that's awesome.
I think that's what sets us apart is my videographer is the best. Like he's on a trip, he's a film festival. His film is being shown there, and
That's
it's
cool.
crazy. Like everyone within my campus like blowing up. Like Genesis, the guy who you seen, he's like
Yep.
an Emmy Award nominated artist. Like he
Okay.
has his songs on a few Nickelodeon shows and the Bel Air show as well. So he's like again Breakfast with Champions. Like these are the elite people that I'm just fortunate enough to know.
Right, that's awesome, dude. And I got the link to the event. I put the tickets in the comments as well. Again, that's
Yes,
on
yeah.
420.
Yeah, 420. So this one is a little bit different than what we've been doing. We kind of focus just on one artist or one entity, right, with the social gathering. But this time around, I wanted to make it a little bit more impactful and bring my personal passions of cannabis use, and bring more awareness around that. So, of course, the fun shit like live performances, and I'll have catered breakfast there. Everyone would get like free tote bags, and there'll be free sampling from Ignite Dispensary, and people get to network, and there'll be vendors there. So, like jewelry vendors, merch, there would be mimosas, and all this different, that again, the fun things, but I wanted to be a little bit more intentional and impactful, especially dealing with cannabis, where we're from.
No, I love it, man. I love
Yeah,
it. Can you talk a little bit about the mission of Breakfast with Champion and its impact on the African American community in Milwaukee, especially regarding like the economic development and wealth creation, just kind of work in the community, growing the community there?
yeah, for sure. Like I told you, being 1 foot in the professional realm, like I
Mhm.
worked for the Bucks as well as like the wardrobe manager, but also like being, who I am. It's important that we get culturally we get the proper just due. Like we really are the movers and shakers in the city that brings the culture, right, that brings the excitement when it comes to either music or fashion, like Unfinished Legacy. I'm pretty sure you guys have heard of them, but or Bricklayers Club, my own fashion label. Like we partner with these corporations or companies, right? These venue spaces who host concerts for artists. But I find that there is sort of disconnect, or I would say opportunity, to kind of intentionally bring value to the artists, the artistry, and their creativity. So Breakfast with Champs was made to again give back to the artists and creative. So, for instance, ticket sales go straight to the artists, the venue, and local businesses who partner with us to kind of alleviate those financial burdens or hardships that we're all going through. Right,
Sure.
people who paint and want to sell their art at my events, I don't charge them anything, right? All
That's
of the sales go straight towards them. It's just giving them the opportunity to be in front of 50, 60, 75 people, right?
sure.
Versus them trying to get 50, 60, 75 people to buy. Like, it's like people are coming here and you're right there. So,
That's awesome.
Breakfast with Champs is just totally an opportunity to be intentional about giving back to the creative and underground space and bring value to them.
Well, it sounds like it's a good spot for customers to come in, or potential to have your work recognized by people who might enjoy it. But then also, I'm assuming those people get to work with the other businesses that are there too. So it's kind of a really great networking as far as a little business to business in a sense, and then also with the consumers. That's awesome, man. Is is this not what number is this for breakfast?
Yeah, so we have done three last year. Our pilot event was April, it was the day after 414 Day. Which, if you don't know, 414 Day is a celebration of Milwaukee, area code 414. So 414 Day was last year, and we did it, our pilot event, which I thought of in like 4 days. Like, we ripped off like a Wheaties box that said breakfast of champions, and we just put breakfast with champions and made like a flyer out of that, right?
Sure,
And I invited like 15, 20 of my best friends and a hip hop artist and a videographer, and I provided like out of pocket too, like cereal and champagne and mimosas, and just video recorded the whole thing. And then I'm like, you know what, this could actually be like, I can. This is always what I wanted to do, so I can like make this real. And then I did three more. I did a three event residency,
okay,
and ended it in December
okay.
with a toy drive. You
That's
know,
awesome, man.
yeah, yeah. So again, being impactful and trying to stay in stride with that impactfulness and intention. We partnered with Big Brothers Big Sisters last year and gave back to their mentorship program as far as toys and mentorship sign up and stuff. And so with this one, I kind of wanted to, level up.
Sure.
So that's what it's about.
Take
Giving
it to that
back to,
next level.
yeah.
Kevin says, really looking forward to the event. It's going to be a great opportunity to connect with the community in a more direct way. I think you got the nail on the head there, man. That's awesome.
Right, right, and it's like, dude, I can, you guys are right here on water, right here in the community, actually, like around the corner from the venue space. Like, we need to know more about you, right?
Sure,
I can tell people all the time. I go to Ignite probably a few times, a month, right? So,
sure,
but if I tell people, or they can be like, "Oh, okay, that's cool," but they don't know much about, just the whole situation,
sure.
um, or even cannabis itself, right? Like, a lot of people are
Well,
marijuana or cannabis users, but don't know how to use it.
sure,
So this is an opportunity, for both of us to learn something, my community, to learn about cannabis and what Ignite do and the cannabis industry. And it gives them the opportunity to say, like, hey, this is what we do. This is how we got here. Here we are,
and a safe space for those questions. I feel like that's just like the perfect link up.
and with the, again, attention behind the content and the rollouts, is super important every single time.
Sure,
With me and my videographer. Like, we just shot inside Ignite dispensary the other day, just shooting every employee, like Ty and
yeah.
April and Wolf, to kind of personify the place, right? To get people familiar with just who the characters of Ignite dispensary. So that's
That's
what we're
awesome.
about. It's the same way with artists, just with a company.
Right, you're just taking it to the next category essentially.
Yep,
Love it.
yep.
We had a question here. Who or what inspires you in your work with Breakfast with Champions, and has broader professional journey, or and his broader professional? Yeah. So, what inspires you, man? What keeps you thinking up these new things?
Yeah, like I said, dating back to when I was growing up and watching like my favorite artists on TV and what they were doing, and then get into fashion because like all the girls was into fashion, like they were the models and stuff. So in college, I'm like, yo, if making clothes or being at fashion shows get me closer to girls and just opportunity to meet cool people and do cool stuff, like why not do that? So Pharrell, Kanye West. Lupe Fiasco at the time, because streetwear and hip hop was colorful, at
Sure.
the time in 2000, I would say 4 to 2012. It was just super colorful with big logos, and um, so that inspired me on a creative tip to actually work for Ralph Lauren, right? To
Sure.
to get those colorful polos and dress kind of preppy and all that, like Kanye West. But also on a professional tip, while I was in college, I always had a job. It just from coming from a single mom and having to do what I needed to do to feel the confident in whether it was dressing or traveling because I was young and I had a job. So working gave me like that professionalism that I needed to kind of move in different rooms or move in this journey in a way that people who look like me or come from where I'm from, it'd be kind of harder for them to do so. So going to college and going to different cities and getting different cultures and the way people talk and um, habits and processes and the different fashion styles and different ways of people coordinating. Like it was people my age at the time, like 18, 19, 20, who was doing social gatherings and having DJ events way back when. So
Sure.
I was seeing them like, dang, like that would be cool if I can do something like that. But again, now that I have a bigger appreciation for all of the arts, not just fashion, I'm able to have the mindset to kind of coordinate and plug the pieces together to make things happen
Sure.
on a creative tip. So.
Well, that's awesome, and I would hope that I mean, obviously, I think you could. It sounds like you've got this kind of down as far as being able to carry on with it. But I'm going to assume that as the cannabis industry or like legalization, I feel like that just helps with like the creative minds, like or even just social gatherings. For me, anyways, when there's cannabis involved, it's just such a chill vibe, and it just feels like it fits kind of that the vibe of what you're talking about as far as like bringing people together, and it's not like who's got the best table because we want like that togetherness, and I feel like that's something that the plant's always been about. Is that you see this thing just kind of growing?
Man, I 100% agree. I met a lot of my best friends or people that I never knew that I would even like, right? Just
Sure.
simply over the plant,
Sure.
growing up or in college or just in life. Like, the plant it connects so many people on a spiritual level, on a so many different levels. So you can't take that away. And with my social gatherings, that was just maybe the one element that maybe would be missing to make it perfect. But
Right.
again, we stay in Wisconsin where there's the laws and there's a huge disparity with that in the cannabis industry as well. So
Right.
highlighting that too.
No, definitely. Can you discuss potential opportunities and barriers that you have as far as trying to take this thing to the next level, or is it you kind of keep things? Well, I guess like one thing that would be cool that we have the barrier on is the cannabis consumption, minus the THCA products and such that you'd be able to roll out. Is there where do you see this thing going, and what are you running into? Is there anything holding you back right now?
Yeah, that's a good question, actually. Today was one of those days, actually, where I kind of felt the effects of like the reality of what I'm doing. As far as, for example, I'm super fearless when it comes to doing what I want to do, right? And I learned that from being in the corporate world and retail, working for companies where you're kind of limited as far as risks and just your attention or to detail or my background. It kind of, it it is different.
Sure.
So um with me being who I am and what I'm doing and adding cannabis, which is, kind of sticky subject, no pun intended, but it's kind of a sticky subject when it comes to Wisconsin and Milwaukee, where you have a lot of professionals and it's not as progressive as, a LA or any other city that surrounds us, right?
Yep,
But
yep.
what I'm running into is just the word itself, cannabis. Like for instance, I told you with our reels and our content and our flyers and rollout, we get tons of views and feedback and engagement. But I feel like as of lately, like my things have been flagged, like right because it just has cannabis in there. It has social justice awareness and it
Sure.
has education and live music and all of the good things. But I think what, for instance, Instagram is shadow banning a lot of the stuff, or even Eventbrite, the actual platform. I tried to do a paid advertisement right for like $50 and it got rejected. So a lot of it's still a scary subject. I'm still gonna get my shit off, no worries.
Right,
But
right.
it's still like, dang, it's a reality that so it's just about pivoting, right? It's
Yep.
about controlling what you can control. And so I have posters that I'll be posting up throughout the city the next few days, and I have a few business owners that I know here, that like a few coffee shops, local coffee shops and wineries, and people who really love me and look out for me, that I'll be able to like hang up some posters and do some like grassroots marketing and stuff. So
That's
to
what
answer your question, yeah, those are the type of things that like I'm running up against, is like people like, yeah, I do it every day. I do cannabis every day, no matter who I am. But am I going to outward support you? I don't know yet.
sure,
So
there's a lot of people on the fence, and I think that's something, especially the places like Ignite and the other places in Wisconsin that are doing it the right way with the quality products and the education. But that is the toughest thing. Is it's kind of short of, because these places have been around for a while and they've been trying and trying and trying. So flag, 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 and it's a lot of on foot, a lot of on foot marketing and posters, like you're saying, that kind of stuff.
and
Um,
fearlessness and confidence, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Just again, it's tougher for me to pull off things, versus anyone else,
sure.
and so, and I guess it's bittersweet because on the end of that, I just don't give like I don't
Right,
care.
right.
I go
Well,
hard for
it'd be
what I
different
believe
if it
in.
was like something that had adverse effects or something. But yeah, I'm to the point where it's like, if somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Cannabis is bad," I'm just like, "Okay, do you want to learn about it, or you just that's how this is going to go?" Like, I'm not, or in my earlier days, it would kind of be like, "Oh, I don't know, yeah, I don't know who to, how to," but like, it is just a beautiful plant. It is, it helps so many people. I will talk to anybody about it. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
worried,
I was
not,
talking to one of my homegirls. This was like a while back, like sometime last year, and I guess, like I had some from Ignite or whatever, and I was talking about like just CBD and the difference, because she has some trees. She asked me to try, and I was like, no, I'm good. I know where no disrespect.
sure.
And she's like, that stuff don't do. I don't know why people do this and that, and she was really questioning. And I asked him like, but don't you smoke hookah?
Yeah.
Like, what are the health benefits of that? Versus, so again, I'm in a position that I have the community on my back, and I have, again, I'm 10 toes down. I have the support because they support me more and more with each breakfast with champions. But it's my obligation to also educate my community. So um and it's a lot of things that I just don't understand still about cannabis, like the legalization behind it, right? How Minnesota and Illinois and Canada and Michigan are all profiting, or they're hit to it, they're on it, and we're just behind on that, and we can benefit from that so much and expeditiously, just by making it legal. And also just the disparities that's placed here in Milwaukee and within my community. A lot of us know, have an uncle or friend or brother who is in jail right now, for the same thing. So it's at this social gathering is also kind of bringing in awareness about that, right? It's kind of
Right.
like my duty and obligation, being an African American male, that you know, it's great that we are having these conversations, and cannabis is, has these health benefits and things, but there's also people who are sitting in jail right now in downtown
Right.
for the same thing, so it's like, what can we do to bring awareness about that, or
Right.
what can we do to directly impact that, so um, it is just an all around ongoing conversation that has so many dimensions to it. But this is just the beginning. This
Right.
is literally, it's called Breakfast with Ignite Dispensary, sparking the conversation on cannabis. So we're just
Starting.
getting started. We have to crawl before we walk.
Right.
We
Well,
don't know
no.
all the answers, especially me. I don't know all the answers, but we have all the facts.
Sure. Well, and I think just looking at some of the other states and how they've done it, like I feel like we're finally on to the, at least at this point in time, the biggest thing we can do is keep getting the voice of the people together so that it's, we're all headed in the same direction as far as what we're trying to, I mean, obviously we know it's, we want legalization, but as far as we're all ready to be part of that conversation at the same time with elected officials, with rallies, with that kind of stuff, and just keep growing this, like we know the support is there in the people, but obviously something has to happen as far as the people putting the pressure on the politicians, and that's our biggest thing that we're able to do is just keep growing this, keep educating people, whether it's people who don't know about the many additional uses or benefits of cannabis, or people who think it's still, the devil's lettuce or reefer madness, and just taking our time to really get rid of that stigma. But like you said, we gotta do something for all the people. It's so crazy that not just that you can go to the other states and legally buy it, but that a lot of those punishments have been expunged for. And I think honestly, in the U.S., I don't have any proof of this, but just thinking about how long they've pitched that cannabis is so bad and locked up so many people, ruined, like just messed up so many people's lives with how they've treated this plant, that I feel like part of it is they're afraid to swallow their pride and say, "Hey, we were wrong." But the longer you do that, like just admit it. Like we
Yeah,
gotta.
but also I think a lot of it has to do with, and it could be wrong. It's just my opinion, right?
Sure.
Milwaukee has like 20 bars on each, street.
Oh
Like, what
yeah,
for that, right? So if
sure,
we did make, cannabis legal to a certain, degree, I think that would piss off a lot of people who go into the bars to drink, I guess.
sure,
So I think the major beef is maybe with them,
sure, possibly,
So it can be deeper than we really know, but it's things like that to consider, right?
sure,
Because if people would just have like cannabis bars, and people would just stop drinking.
right.
But it's crazy, like I can just go to get a drink and drive. I can drink as much as I want and drive anywhere and kill
Or you
somebody.
can go to the grocery store and get a trailer full of Everclear, and
Yeah,
nobody's gonna say nothing.
crazy, and just, but in a perfect world, man, we just have to do what we have to do. And little by little, we're being, where
Right.
we're at. So
Yep. Sticking together.
exactly.
Definitely. Let's see here. What else do we have? A few more out here. How does Breakfast with Champions work with local? Do you guys work with any local? Well, no, you talked about like the artists that come in. Do you do anything with organizations? I know you said Big Brothers, Big Sisters. Is it
Yeah.
when
So
it's
Big
not
Brothers
the?
Big Sisters, we worked with them last in December, and I know the chairman or president of the chapter here in Milwaukee, Neil, from just networking here in the city, and we were both of our businesses were grant recipients of the same grant, so we kind of were parallel to each other. And then when I wanted to like give away to the community and make everything free, and make it a charitable cause, I partner with Big Brothers Big Sisters of Metro Milwaukee, and we raised 266 toys that day.
That's
And
awesome.
basically what it was, I provided breakfast, and some of my homies performed, and it was free. Like the merch I designed was free, some of the art that we had, breakfast, people who win prizes. It was a DJ there. Like it was a regular social gathering, but it was just free, and people can come get free merch or free breakfast in exchange for like a toy. And we happen to be like the biggest black and brown mentorship sign up in the history of the chart of that chapter. So it was cool to see that, because with mentorship programs or just companies here, they want to do good here, right? But it's an opportunity, it's a missed opportunity as far as connecting with people who look like the kids and that can organically connect, right? So that was one entity. And of course, local businesses and restaurants like Style Pup Cafe, who provided our coffee, or Jobia Bake. She's like a small bakery, an older woman, and she gave us baked goods and homemade Pop Tarts and stuff. Toast is a brunch spot here in Milwaukee. They helped cater our breakfast, for us. They sponsored our breakfast and gave a gift certificate for like the ugly sweater contest there
That's
and
awesome.
stuff. Like, you're right. So
Gotta have one of them.
right. So we partner and we try to do a lot with breakfast with Ignite Dispensary. If you guys come, if you're listening, we're partnering with Myad. Are you familiar with Myad?
I've heard that.
It's the art school here in the third ward. Well, they have a black student union here, so a few students that host galleries within the school, but they've never really had like a real world art exhibition,
Okay.
and so we want to provide that for them with
Oh, that's
this
awesome.
Breakfast with Champs. So we have like, some veteran artists here and our artwork that's going to be there. And we also have the youth that's going to be able. So you're going to see like people like the youth in college, born and raised here, making art and showcasing their art for like Milwaukee, the real community. So
That's dope. That's
yeah.
awesome, man.
But the most important collaboration, lastly, is Ignite Dispensary. I have to give like the ultimate respect and thanks to them for trusting in me to put everything like this together. And you know I wasn't expecting them to really like be on board as quick, but again, they're open and they're willing to understand what it takes to really get in the community and make an impact. So thank you, Ignite. That's probably the biggest collaboration that I can say is super impactful.
And I can actually attest to that as well, just in talking to a couple different businesses and stuff, and about the movement that I'm a part of, and trying to do this thing and get down to the Capitol and all that stuff. And yeah, Ignite really showed up. They're about the community. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Uh, Proud to be associated with them folks. Speaking of Ignite, Kevin says, doing outreach for a cannabis based business, I find it's a case by case basis as far as bars are concerned. Corporate owned bars in the larger cities seem to be less keen on the idea of collaboration. Our local county bars are pretty friendly. That's what it seems to be like. I would say.
Okay.
Kevin also says you're exactly the type of guy and type of organization we want to partner with. Thank you, Brandon. There we go. Let's go.
Yes, sir.
Let's see. We had I think two more questions on here. What do we have here? Or no, I got one last one. Unless people in the comments got questions as well. Again, the event is on 420 in Milwaukee at what's the building?
It is copyright mag.
Copyright Magazine. There we go.
Yep, 2209 North Dr. MLK Drive. It's right in Bronzeville. If anyone is familiar, let me teach y'all real quick. So Bronzeville, it's a few big cities that have a village or community called Bronzeville, right? And like St. Louis, Chicago. Bronzeville is a community dedicated to like the Black arts, right? So it's community of education, resources, history, and culture of that specific city. So Bronzeville, like they have, fruit markets and they're building a school there. They have multiple businesses and headquarters and black owned businesses around there. But it is in the heart of Milwaukee. So you can go a couple blocks you downtown, you can go a couple blocks north, your north side is right off a few blocks off the east side. So it's like a nice cornerstone of like Milwaukee, period. And like I said, they're building a school right across from the venue space. So in the next year or so, it's going to be like the main hub for all of the arts coming out of Milwaukee, period. So
That's awesome.
2209 is on 420 at Copyright Mag headquarters, and it's a big open gallery space. That's where we have all the live music and breakfast and stuff, and then we'll go into like a projector room for the cannabis presentation and social justice panel and et cetera, et cetera.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah. And I hope to see everyone from different places of Wisconsin, not just Milwaukee. We're doing a lot of cool things here, and you'll be surprised if you haven't been here in a long time or always wanted the opportunity or reason to come to Milwaukee. Like, this is it.
This
And
is
it's
it.
safe, but yeah, and it's a safe space. It's in the mornings,
Sure.
and it's all inclusive. So can't wait to see you guys. Hope to see many, many people.
Love it. Love it. Why don't we kind of wrap things up by discussing how listeners can support Breakfast with Champions and get involved with their initiatives?
Yeah, for sure. We're always looking for partners and sponsors. To answer your question, Javin, you are not unfortunately able to smoke there. Um, but before or after, if you want to go to your car or around the corner, definitely do so. But it's a family and friendly business. It has like a shop. And honestly, you'll be so engaged that you won't even think about smoking. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
plus, Ignite will have um, product there to try, so you're going to be there, on
Yeah.
many levels, no matter what you do. So, unfortunately, no smoking there. So no smoking policy.
Jill, want to know if you can bring kids?
I wouldn't, no.
No. Okay.
Because they can pick up a soda or something, or they can, I want you to really enjoy yourself.
Sure.
This is an adult. This is actually the first time I'm catering something specifically for adults.
Okay.
So I kind of want to keep it at that
Sure.
21 for real, but if I want to keep it at adult, 18 and
That's
up.
that's
Yeah.
fair. Right on. So, were all the spots full as far as what you needed with collaborators and stuff for this event?
So far, yeah, I think we are pretty good. We're still looking for, like I said, we're always trying to take partners and or sponsors to help push the initiative to make it bigger, right? Most of the sponsorship dollars, because eventually I want to make events like this free,
Sure.
versus charging the community. I really want to make events free. So sponsors and partners is always accepting, and it helps again alleviate financial stress on me, right?
Sure.
And also just the artists. I want them to get paid what they're truly worth, So even now you can email me at breakfastwchamps mke at gmail.com if you're looking to be a sponsor or partner, whether it's this event or in the future. When it comes to like things like breakfast and really, the monetary um, help is big for the overall cost for artists and stuff like that. But if any way you can help is always good. We're appreciative.
That's awesome. Or if you got a spot, you can hang up a flyer down there by Milwaukee. That'd be dope too.
Right.
So,
If you have a Milwaukee business or something like that, I definitely have some posters and flyers. I got to pick them up tomorrow. So,
hey, there you go. I got to get some flyers finished up this week for petition signing.
nice.
Well, awesome, man. I really appreciate you hopping on here, chopping it up with me, informing us a little bit more about Breakfast with Champs, Breakfast with Ignite. Uh, it's awesome, man. I love to see that we're starting to be able to find people to collab with, like you and I, as far as we're trying to be out here and be vocal about cannabis and try to but you notice like we're always talking about education. Like it's not just like we're out here like don't get me wrong, there's days I wish I could just go to the Capitol and be like, what the hell is wrong with you people? This shit needs to be legalized. But like and it's frustrating some days, but what every time we run into somebody like yourself, it's just like I feel like we're growing the army.
Yeah.
And
And in different ways, like I'm new to the official truth, right? Like I said,
sure,
it took my 30s and even this pandemic to take it serious. Like
sure,
I don't buy marijuana or cannabis like off the street, and since the pandemic, like I only use it legally, like if I'm in legal states,
Sure.
or if it's from Ignite when
Sure.
I'm here back home. So
That's smart. That's smart.
yeah,
That THCA flower does pretty good for a lot of folks. So,
definitely me, man.
right. Glad to hear that. Well, hey, man, I appreciate your time tonight. I'm going to let you get back to it. Appreciate everyone stopping out. Again, check the comments or check out, excuse me, or check out Breakfast with Champs on their website or on their Instagram that we've got tagged in the comments. And yeah, let's just keep this thing rolling. Let's show up to breakfast, have some fun. Let's keep going, guys. It's going to take this whole state, and that's what we're here for. So appreciate you
Yeah.
stopping
If
out.
anyone has any questions, just DM me or whatever. If you need me for anything, Bob, you know what
Hey,
it is.
appreciate that. Same to you, man. Appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir.
All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Have a good night,